Thank you for coming to Innovative Climate Action from Asian Youth. We're here today to talk about the different aspects of climate issues and climate action. Hi everyone, my name is Annie Wong. I'm a high school junior at the New Trier High School in Illinois. It's my great honor to be speaking here today. So, why don't some people believe climate change is real? Incorrect information on various different topics is spread in many ways, either on purpose, also known as disinformation, or unintentionally, which would be called misinformation. Incorrect information often leads to people believing in the wrong things and therefore taking the wrong actions. If we can't all agree on the fact that climate change is a real thing that's happening and that it's a very serious and urgent issue, how can change happen? Information is power, and truth and correct information are the basis and foundation of discussions and debates. That's something I learned from hosting my podcast on YouTube called MIS, which stands for Misinformation in Science and Society. On the podcast, I interview a different person on each episode about misinformation in their specific field. I try to talk to people in all kinds of professions, from professors teaching different subjects to astronomers, nutritionists, psychologists, people from WHO, and so on, to get diverse perspectives. And through that, I not only always learn a lot about misinformation and different ways of looking at and thinking about it, but I also learn more and more about the fields themselves too. Just a little over a week ago, I interviewed the founder of Climate Change AI, Priya Janti, who for her PhD worked on machine learning models to optimize power grids to better integrate renewable energy. During the interview, Dr. Janti talked about the necessity of everyone being scientifically and equally informed when approaching climate action, as there are places that have been disadvantaged previously and haven't had access to resources about issues like climate change. She believes that it's important for people from all different backgrounds with different perspectives to be able to come together and start from a common premise and have a common language and understanding. Without a doubt, there are things that can and need to be debated in almost every field, including climate change. There are certain things that people just need to agree on in order to approach the issues at all. In math, for example, if a couple of people are trying to figure out a new theorem for calculating something, sure, they can probably approach the problem in lots of different ways, but they have to agree on, for example, the basic arithmetics while working through the problem. It is no different in issues like the pandemic and climate change. From interviewing people, I also learned about different ways to reduce, avoid, and tackle misinformation. There are different sides to the problem, including the spreader of the misinformation or disinformation, the receiver, as well as the means of spreading the information, like social media and news. There's not much we can do about the spread of the information, as most times people are just unintentionally spreading information they received without knowing about its problems and inaccuracies. However, on the receiver end, a lot of people I talk to have emphasized the importance of people having the resources and education to be able to engage with information appropriately and think critically, especially with the clickbait titles in news and articles, as well as the algorithms that social media platforms use now to tailor the information we receive. People I've talked to also have spoken about how we're taught in school how to use technology, but we often don't learn about how to use it properly so that we don't get caught up in false information and act upon it. So those are some of the things I've learned so far from talking to experts in various fields about misinformation and disinformation. Having the correct information is crucial in communicating and solving real issues like climate change, and that's why we can and should all help fight the misinformation in science and society. Dissent and disagreements are essential ingredients to have informed dialogues, and dialogues are the foundation of democracy, freedom, liberty, and human dignity. I believe as individuals, we must educate ourselves and continue educating ourselves so we can learn, grow, and evolve to fight climate change, which itself is evolving into something bigger every day. I also believe we must have more and more of these gatherings. Take sports as an example. Fans have fantasy leagues, parties, gatherings, and media dedicated to particular teams. Why not with climate change? We need to discuss this in our classes, at dinner tables, in real and digital worlds, and anywhere and everywhere. In order to devise sustainable, equitable, and inclusive climate change solutions, we need to embrace the discussions as second nature to our existence, or else misinformation and disinformation will become facts. Thank you.